Nervy Sporting beat Farense 3-2 to go back top of the table after going 2-0 up in 30 minutes through goals by Daniel Bragança and Viktor. Gyökeres. Sporting seemed set for the straightforward win at home to Farense in Lisbon this afternoon. But, just like in the reverse fixture in the Algarve earlier this season, José Mota's team rallied and goals from Mohamed, Belloumi and Luís made it 2-2. Pote quickly restored Sporting's lead, but the Lions were unable to find another goal to kill off the match and faced an anxious final few minutes. Urged on by a big crowd at Alvalade, Sporting held on, and the 3 points take them into first place in the standings above Lisbon rivals Benfica, who play at Porto later this evening. As promised, Rúben Amorim rotated his team after the energy-sapping Portuguese Cup 2-1 victory over Benfica on Thursday evening. Ricardo Esgaio, Nuno Santos, Juste and Daniel Bragança came into the 11, with Geny Catamo, Eduardo Quaresma, Sebastián and Hidemasa Morita starting on the bench. For Farense, Mattheus Oliveira, who scored 2 goals in the reverse fixture earlier in the season, was out suspended after a red card last week. The home team were rewarded for a bright start when a swift move down the right flank released Esgaio. His cross half cleared to Daniel Bragança, handed the captain's armband for the match, who lashed in an unstoppable shot with his weaker right foot that bounced into the net off the underside of the bar. Sporting kept up the pressure, passing their way behind the Farense defense regularly. The visitors had a double let-off when twice they were saved by the woodwork. First, Saint Juste rose highest at a corner, his looping header beating Ricardo Esgaio but bouncing back into the goalkeeper's hands after hitting the post. 1 minute later, it was the bar that saved Farense, preventing a comical Mattheus Oliveira own goal. Superb team goal. Saint Juste went close again, hitting another corner inches wide, but a second goal was coming and duly arrived in the 29th minute from a brilliant Sporting move. Nuno Santos sent Pote racing down the right flank, his cross on the run turned in cleverly by that man Viktor Gyökeres, also running at full pelt but applying a subtle finish. Out of nowhere, Farense equalized with an outstanding goal of their own. Algerian forward Mohamed Belloumi had already served notice of his clever footwork with a mazy run earlier in the half. The exciting forward ran across the top of the box, exchanged passes with Luís and unleashed a rocket of a shot into the top corner, giving goalkeeper Israel no chance. The goal did not knock Sporting out of their rhythm, Edwards and Pote close to restoring the home team's 2-goal cushion. There was a worrying moment for Sporting just before the break when Franco-Israel and Luís crashed into each other, leaving the goalkeeper writhing in pain. With first-choice stopper Adán out of action, Amorim would have been especially worried at the prospect of having to call on his third-choice goalkeeper, but after extensive treatment Israel was fine to continue. Farense roar back. The visitors started the second half with a bang. First, Luís latched onto a Belloumi pass and crashed an effort onto the crossbar. But the former Braga and Porto striker would not be denied, and scored an equalizer to stun the majority of the supporters in the stadium in the 50th minute. The big striker rose highest to thump in a header from an Elves-balled corner. Sporting responded swiftly to the setback. Again, it was a smooth team move, Bragança playing in Edwards, who in turn released Esgaio, whose low cross was turned into the net from point-blank range by Pote. The hosts continued on top, with the irrepressible Gyökeres causing havoc on several occasions, but with Sporting unable to restore the 2-goal cushion, a collective nervousness transmitted from the stands to the players on the pitch. Sporting held firm though, helped especially by the calming influence of substitute Morita, as the final whistle signaling Sporting had reclaimed first place. The stadium quickly emptied as people hurried home to see if Porto could do the Lions a favor by beating Benfica in the Clásico, which would result in the Lions remaining clear at the top of the table with a game in hand. By Tom Kundert at the José Alvalade Stadium. 1-0, Daniel Bragança, 11 foot. 2-0, Gyökeres, 29 foot. 2-1, Belloumi, 32 foot. 2-2, Luís, 50 foot. 3-2, Pedro Goncalves, 53 foot.